Hey guys, welcome back to the Kitaholic Kits YouTube channel. This is my second project using the August kit, and I decided to go a bit mixed media heavy in pretty much all of my layouts that I did this month, which is a bit unusual for me, but I wanted to do watercolor. So I have already primed that paper with clear gesso and cut it down to a 6x8 size, which is the size that I wanted for this particular layout. And I'm really trying to create a pastel rainbow with these colors. So I'm adding a lot of water, and obviously watercolors, they tend to dry lighter as well. So that is good too, because by the end when I'm done, it does create a nice pastel rainbow watercolor. This watercolor palette is one that I created myself, just with all of my favorite colors and all colors that I was particularly drawn to. And I absolutely love this palette. It's got a lot of my just all-time favorite watercolors, including that one there. I can't remember the name of it now, maybe Princess something, but it's this like beautiful Winsor & Newton color, and I love it. And it matches a lot of the colors from this particular kit as well, because it's like this perfect in between greeny and blue. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I'm kind of like slapping this on very haphazardly. I didn't want it to look too neat to put together. I wanted it to look messy. And I'm in ahhing about whether I wanted to add a bit of a coral to this particular background. And the reason why I'm doing this background is because I'm using a photo of my daughter with her face painted, and she's got her face painted as a rainbow. So when I had a look at her face paint, she does actually have a bit of red in the face paint as well. So that's why I decided ultimately to add the red as well on the top. Now that's very, very bright, but you'll see it does dry much, much lighter than that ultimately. Now it's probably not a good idea for me to just use the same brush and water for all of this, but look, like I said, I wasn't trying to be too neat and exact. I kind of wanted to go for a bit of a messy look. But yeah, this is just like one way that you can take a more plain background and liven it up in the same way that you would take white paint to dull down a busy background. This is just the opposite. So I would recommend priming it first, otherwise that watercolor will just soak straight into the paper and it will be no good. So now that is dry, I wanted to matte my photo, and I thought that this packaging, the ephemera pack, came with this backing paper, and I thought it was lovely. So I'm using that to matte the photo. I didn't want to create too much of a chaotic border straight off, because I'm going very scrappy with my matting here, and so I wanted just a nice neutral, almost white border to start with. Now I'm switching over to glue, because the glue is not going to seep and warp the photo, because that card from the backing paper is quite thick. So that's why I'm originally used the glue tape, but now I'm using glue. I am just choosing papers from the kit that I feel matched the pastel rainbow colors the most. This particular doily is actually from last month's kit, but there was a huge pack of them, and I really want to use them, and I really love that color, and it matched the greeny blue so well from my paint. So that is what I did. I just stuck those behind the photo to make it look like a bit circular in the edges. This color, this paper was so bright and vibrant, and it wasn't quite what I was looking for, except I liked that little pop of brightness. So I'm just going to tear that down and then glue it onto the back. And I really love the bit more intensity and saturation that gives. I feel like when you are working with just pastel colors, you need something to ground it, and black is great for that, but also some punchy colors work for that as well. I'm using my Sue Plum expertise here, and I'm taking some gauze. I love how she did that. And then recently my work went through all of their first aid kit stuff and discarded anything that was expired, and so they gave me this gauze, and I was like, perfect, I can start using them as a texture element in a layout. And I love how it looks. Like, it is so, you just want to touch it, which is exactly the purpose of it, and it's just great. And it's hard to stuff it up in a way. Like, if you just chuck a bit of gauze back there, create something tactile, and honestly, I just absolutely adore how this looks. It's also combined with the twine that I put through that tiny little tag. made this whole layout quite textured, and I just really, it's probably my favorite layout that I did this entire month. Finally time to, sorry everything's off camera, but finally time for me to stick down that photo onto the backing paper. Now I do cover up some of the beautiful mixed media, but the point of mixed media is just to stick out behind the photos, right? It's not meant to be the star of the show. So I do still quite like how that looks. Just picking a little bits of here and there, things from the sticker sheet and that's ticket die cut pack that we got, just to create a bit more layers, a bit of puffy stickers, the little love hearts. I realized once I was pretty much done with this, I was ready to finish it up, I hadn't done a title. And I also felt like the bottom part of this layout was a bit empty. And so I'm actually going to, when I finish journaling, I'm going to get a title from a very old puffy sticker sheet that we got maybe last year sometime. I don't remember, but I have wanted to use that lovely puffy sticker for so long, and I can finally use them. So I stuck those down, and then I just grabbed one of those love hearts, but I do remove it and replace it with one of the ones that we got in this month's kit down the track. And just to ground that, I'm also going to add just a little phrase sticker under there, and I think one more little love heart underneath there, and then I think this layout is done. I love how this looks. It's sometimes nice to really shrink down your layouts because it just makes it look like, it just takes away the fear of the giant 12 by 12 for me. I'm still terrified of 12 by 12 layouts, so for now I'm sticking to my 9 by 12 and 6 by 8s. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I will see you all next week. Bye.